Hey guys, welcome to my allotment. I just wanted to say first of all, welcome to my channel. This is my very first episode on YouTube and online actually, so you might have to excuse the dodgy camera skills for a while. This isn't something I've done before, and also the background noise of the cockerels, which are a regular occurrence. Anyway, so I'd just like to say welcome and thanks for joining me on my allotment adventures. So this channel is going to be all about having an allotment, what to plant, what to grow and when to do it. I've had my allotment now in Norfolk for around 18 months, so this is my first real growing season. I got a bit of the growing season last year, but not from the beginning, so this year is my first attempt at having a real go at it. So hopefully you'll be able to share that journey with me. The ultimate plan is to grow organic, fresh, delicious produce that I can then take home and bake delicious things for my family and myself, who everyone likes a treat. But that's the main purpose of it. So I'll give you a tour around my allotment today, and I'll also show you what I'm going to be doing with regards to the produce when it's grown. We'll be using fruit and vegetables and herbs. I'm a bit of a herb fan. And there'll be some videos when I go out and forage as well around my local area near my allotment, and to see what things we can use and make from things that are just growing around us, which is also really great. Anyway, I'm not going to keep on talking and keep you all waiting. I'll take you on a tour of the allotment first and show you what's going on. Be aware though, it's not perfect. Okay, just give you a quick idea of the rough size of my allotment before I give you a tour. I'm going to walk down now to where the boundary of my allotment is, just to give you some idea of the size. Okay, here I go. My plot is pretty big, you can see it actually, but let's get on with the tour. Okay, so welcome to the tour of the allotment. As you can see, this area still needs some cultivation and some work. Like I say, I've only had the plot about 18 months, so there's still plenty to be done. Here, this is going to ultimately be our compost area, and if we're going to have fires on the allotment, it's going to be up here out of the way. Here is what we've managed to get in, about 7 rows of potatoes, earlies and late crop potatoes. I think there's 7 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 8 rows of potatoes. So there's several varieties. We've got Charlotte potatoes, rocket potatoes, Vivaldi potatoes, Albert Bartlett's, King Edward's and a few others. I can't remember off the top of my head, but let's keep going. So this area of the allotment, apart from starting to be covered with poppies, is going to be just an area for me to sit and relax and actually enjoy the allotment. It's more than just planting. You know, you need to be able to take the time just to sit back and enjoy and reap all the rewards from everything we've done. I sowed this seed probably at the end of last summer, so it has taken. It was just mud before, but now obviously it needs a bit of work to get it back to a nice normal lawn. Here as well, behind the polytunnel, we have been given, you might be able to see there, we have been given a greenhouse by a friend as well, so we are thinking about whether to put that up as well. Let's keep going. You have to apologise in advance for my dodgy camera skills. Okay, so here we get to my 3 archways. Each of my archways will be going something different, trailing up, whether it be a flower or a vegetable. And these will be permanent features of the allotment, so they'll always be here, and we'll see what's down here now. So these sunflowers, you'll see sunflowers sort of dotted around. They are self-seeded from last year. I didn't put them in, but I'm also certainly not going to be taking them out. I've made a couple of little flower borders here as well. You can see them going down. They've got dahlia tubers in, cornflowers, cosmos, nemophila, chamomile, just to name a few. I've got a patch here still that I haven't used, and that's probably going to be one of my first videos where we'll be doing some seeds, sowing direct into the ground, things like Swiss chard, spring onions, and maybe some more salad. We'll see how we go. Okay, so behind this massive sunflower is my first of the climbers. It's an akuri squash. Please don't judge my pronunciation. We then have a big clump of cornflowers there. They're the double blue variety. Also down this side, as you can see, is where all my brassicas are. So you can see there in the middle, smaller of the three, are my scarlet kale. There are also swede seedlings in there and pak choi, but they're quite small, so you can't see them that clearly yet. The one nearest to us has got in my broccoli and my cauliflower, 3 rows. I'm not sure if you get a clear view through the netting. Oh, it's not too bad. So we'll see how they go. So the second of my 3 archways is Armstrong runner beans. Starting to climb up there now, which is good. Got a few dahlias scattered down here as well. Here's the nemophila. Some of them are actually flowering already. Really quite pretty. Really nice. More dahlias. Cosmos. I'll get onto the last archway in a minute. More dahlias, more sunflowers. These are my cucamelons. Now, I only planted these a few days ago, so they are starting to grab on, as you can see. But yeah, they've only been in a couple of days, so not quite established here yet. But they're looking pretty good. Okay, keep going. So my last archway, I have put some netting on, just to help with the climbing of the plants. These are Jacoby little pumpkins, so they are going to be miniature pumpkins, about the size of your hand, so I've been told. Only around 150 grams in weight, so they're going to be quite dinky. But yeah. Okay, moving on. This is the last of my brassica nets. Got Brussels sprouts down the middle there. And both sides I have planted Golden Acre Primo cabbages. As you can see, that right hand side is doing far better than the left. Don't know why. Very strange indeed. Okay, so moving on now. This is where I have planted my corn and some leftover pumpkins. I couldn't bear to just get rid of them, so I've decided to put them in. They are looking a bit sorry for themselves. It is really hot today, so I'll come up tonight and give them a good water. They have been in for a couple of days now, but it is stifling today. Like I say, my corn here, a lot of people ask why I put my corn under cover. Last year I made it my mission to grow really tall corn, which I did successfully, but not after a lot of fighting with the wildlife. It took an awful long time for the corn to be established enough that they could look after themselves. I had dozens uprooted by the birds. It was successful in the end, but this year I'm just letting them get established under netting first to hopefully protect them. Okay, and this side is the fruit patch, I call it. It's not just a fruit patch, because all you can probably see right now is rhubarb. Huge rhubarb area. There are also red currants on here, black currants, raspberries. I think there's a loganberry as well, and a small apple tree there in the middle. The plot didn't come with any trees at all, so I have put a few trees in on various parts of the allotment. But like I said, there were none here at all when I got here. There's also a lovely verbena here, which the bees absolutely love. You can probably also see on the floor a metal structure, An allotment neighbour has kindly given us her fruit cage because she's reducing the size of the area of her fruit. So yeah, she's given us that as a gift, which is really kind. Okay, let's keep going. This is my area for squashes and courgettes. As you can see, it doesn't look very full yet, but it is one of those things that in a couple of months' time, I imagine we will come back and it will be absolutely covered. So we will see. So there's a butternut squash here along the bottom, nice wild poppy there as well. And then I have 2 courgette plants that side. I don't know if you can see them, but there's 3 spaghetti squash the other side and 2 more courgettes that side. I think they are already producing courgettes as well, if we're going to have a look. Oh, sorry about my shadow, that's not very helpful. Yeah, there we go. There are some in there already. Okay, so moving on a bit further. This is the beetroot, 2 rows of beetroot here. They are looking quite strong. I'm quite happy with them. These are a mixed beetroot as well, so there should be some yellow, some of the traditional purple, and potentially some stripy beetroot too, which is pretty cool. Now don't judge me. I have never ever grown parsnips, and I'm going to be honest, I don't really know what they should look like. So if anyone can give me any idea of what a parsnip seedling looks like, drop it in the comments for me. I've heard that parsnips are also notoriously difficult to grow, so any tips would be useful. I think one of my first videos might be weeding this area and see if there's any parsnips underneath at all. We will see. Right, carrying on. Go into the area, there's a random lupin down there. Area of carrots, so on the left are harlequin carrots, so they should be purple, yellows, reds, oranges. And on the right they were planted a lot later, but chantenay carrots, which are a lot smaller and sweeter variety. They haven't been in very long, so they are a little bit behind, but hopefully they'll catch up. I also meant to say over by the sweet corn there is a row of gladioli there as well, so hopefully that'll bring some nice flowers to the allotment later in the year. Okay, so moving on to my onions. So this year I am growing white and red varieties, half and half. Does anybody else just get random potatoes pop up? I mean, I've got them everywhere. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, there are around about 100 onions here. Red Baron and White Stuttgarter are the varieties I've chosen to grow this year. In front of there, another row of gladioli. And along here is a row of broad beans. Now, I've never grown broad beans before. I've also never eaten broad beans before. But I picked off a few not long ago, maybe a week ago, and had them with my lunch, and they were absolutely delicious. I was really impressed. So yeah, really happy with them. They suffered really badly with black fly, but they really struggled at the start of the year, and I didn't actually think I was going to get anything at all. But they picked up and they got strong, and they're doing great now. Really impressed. So here's another row of gladioli, if you can see them amongst the parsnips / weeds. Okay, now moving on to what I like to call the bean and pea bed. You might ask what all these CDs are for. We have a real problem with birds nibbling in this area. Apparently birds don't like things that are shiny or reflective, and it keeps them away from your crops, which, looking at this, might be quite true. So these are my peas and mange tout with lettuce in the middle. And if I just turn around here, got a container with petit pois in, and they are also about ready, I think. There's definitely some pods on there specifically ready to be picked. I've done a lot of things I've never tried growing before, so this year's going to be quite interesting. Okay, moving on, more beans. We've got some climbing cobra beans, some dwarf Selma French beans, zebra, Belotti beans, which I've always wanted to try, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how they turn out. And on the next structure, I've also grown some blue peas and beans. Now, I can't remember the names of the varieties off the top of my head. I'll put a little link on the screen for you now. But the peas and the beans are supposed to be blue or purple, which I think is really cool. So we'll see how they turn out as well. If they do well, I'll definitely be growing them again. But you can see from the colours of the stems on those beans, they're really purple in colour. They're like indigo. So I can't wait to see them. Again, more CDs. Okay, and just behind me is a container of sweet peas. Obviously, certainly not to be eaten. Definitely not edible, those. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so here we are at the overwintered garlic. Now, if any of you follow me on Instagram, I posted about this garlic. I dug one up only yesterday after nearly digging up the whole lot in April because I didn't think anything was happening. I pulled one out of the ground and it was basically like a stick. There was nothing on the bottom at all. So I thought, oh, I'm going to pull the lot up they didn't take. So I thought about it and I thought, no, I'll give them a bit longer. I'll give them a fair chance, which I did. Pulled one up yesterday. Amazing. A garlic bulb had formed, plenty of cloves on it. I mean, they weren't perfect, they weren't perfectly shaped, but totally good enough for me. Now, one quick question about garlic is someone told me you can actually take these off and eat them. Obviously I need to nip these off ASAP, but if someone's got any idea whether you can eat these, please let me know. If not, I'll put them in the compost. Okay, now moving on to our strawberry patch. So as you can see, the strawberry patch to you probably looks a little odd. So this year we replaced the whole back half that you can see there of the strawberries and have replaced them with new plants. Now that's because the strawberry patch was here when I got here, and I got told that the old man that had this plot had kept these strawberry plants here for years and years and years and years, and they'd never actually been replaced. So I decided to take out the whole half at the back there. So the plants are only quite small, they're very immature, so they're not really producing a lot this year. And then I've kept the other half of the old plants, which are still producing. As you can see, there are strawberries here. I'm very fortunate around here as well because I don't seem to have to protect my strawberries. The birds just sort of let them be, so I am quite fortunate there. But maybe I'll replace this half at the end of this season, depending on how we go. Okay, we're coming to the end of the tour now. I will take you into the polytunnel as well. But a couple more trees that I've bought, you can see here. A cherry tree that I've got. There's wild poppies everywhere on my plot. Everywhere I turn there's poppies. There's no way I'm touching them. They're absolutely lovely. So this is a flower patch I made, mostly with seeds from home. There's a few alliums in here amongst the poppies. There's also lavender, chamomile, more sunflowers, and some seeds that I put in from home. Okay, moving on. Another tree. This one is a Victoria plum tree. And this has also turned into my second herb garden. So I've got two varieties of mint in here, berries and cream and sweet pear mint. You might wonder why my mint are in their pots still, but mint are very, very invasive. So it's best not to give them too much freedom, else they'll take over. I've also got a row of nasturtiums around the front there, and a rosea lavender. So those lavenders flowers are actually pink, which is very nice. And finally, moving on again to the last flower patch, we've got rudbeckia in here, verbena, mostly verbena in this bed, a few marigolds, a few cosmos, an antirrhinum at the back there, and this pear tree. You can see, let me just pan around, which has got a fair few pears on it. This was only planted in around October. It was bought from a local nursery. It's obviously very, very happy where it is. So that's pretty much it for the tour. I will take you into the polytunnel, so let's go there now. Hey guys, welcome to my polytunnel. Okay, outside I have a pot here with 2 Roman chamomile in. God, I can't speak today. And also I have a pot of Jerusalem artichokes, which I've never grown before, but I've also been told that they can be quite invasive, so to be very careful. Now, if any of you have got any tips on Jerusalem artichokes, I'd appreciate it. So I've been told they're like a root vegetable, so I imagine that pot isn't going to be big enough. So yeah, anyone got any tips? Please let me know. Okay, so moving into the polytunnel, this is my other herb garden. Obviously, as I said in the section before, I've started a second herb garden down the end. That's because this one's full. I absolutely adore herbs. I know I keep saying it, I need to stop, but I do. And I use them in teas, I use them in all cooking. I mean, they can be used in all styles of cooking as well, which is great. So I absolutely love them. I think they're so underrated. So in here I've got a regular mint, parsley, chives, thyme, marjoram, more chamomile, sage, oregano, and a huge rosemary at the back. Oh, and a curry plant there as well in the background. Okay, so moving on, I have a basket here. Oh, they've just popped up this morning, some nasturtiums. So hopefully they'll trail over the top, which will be lovely. And this is where we move on to the main part of the polytunnel. Now, as you can see, or probably the most striking feature is the grapevine growing over the top. Absolutely love it. And it has got small bunches of grapes growing on it for the very first time, which is really exciting. So you will hear Bumblebee City in here. They are absolutely loving it at the moment. Okay, so moving on, we have got peppers running all the way down one side and filling the terracotta pots that you can see. Can you tell I'm a pepper fan? As well as chilies all down this side. I think we are starting to get, yeah, the chilies are starting now. We are getting there. A random potato. See what I mean? Potatoes get everywhere. Okay, we've also got aubergines running along the back here. And a variety of beans, which my friend gave to me. Now, I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head, but all I know is they like a really hot climate. So they've been put in here. They're starting to climb now. I do need to desperately de-weed around them. We'll see how they get on as well. Going around some more chilies. And then tomatoes. I had a bit of a nightmare with my tomatoes. I planted them all out, and then that night we had an awful frost, totally unexpected, and I lost a lot of the tomato plants. I was really disappointed. Luckily I had some spare at home of a different variety. So this year it's going to be half Gardener's Delight, which are your normal red tomatoes, and then half are going to be one variety called Golden Sun, which are yellow. So when they come up, that's going to be really interesting. But I also have no idea how to tell what variety is which. So that'll be a lovely surprise. So we've got more peppers in the terracotta pots. These are a miniature variety of pepper, so hopefully they'll be okay in the pots. And going on, I've got my fig tree, which has survived the winter and is quite happy, and 2 melon plants at the bottom. Now, I'm not a melon fan, I've got to be honest. Not very keen on melon, but I thought I'd give them a go and see what happens. This is just a mess. This is just my messy storage area. You don't really need to see that. I'll tidy that up later. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now you've seen my plot. In all its glory on this beautiful, beautiful day in Norfolk. Now we'll go back to the polytunnel. Okay, so I'm back. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Like I say, my camera skills are not brilliant yet. I'm sure it's something I'll get better with over time. But yeah, my plot's a big plot. And hopefully as the videos go on, you'll be able to see more of the sections in more detail. Like I said, that was just a really, really brief overview. So as I do jobs on different sections of the allotment, you'll get to see them in more detail and get an up close and personal look at each of the sections. Anyway, so now you've seen a rough guide to my allotment, you might want to know what I'm going to do with the things that I grow. And that's the whole point of the episodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving all of the lovely organic homegrown produce from here and take it to it. Welcome to my kitchen. This is where we're going to bring back all the fruit, all the vegetables, all the lovely goodies we've been and foraged, and hopefully turn them into something absolutely brilliant. And hopefully these will be some recipes that you can then share with your family. Now, I plan on producing quite a variety of things when I'm cooking in the kitchen. I must admit I am a baker and I do love a cake. I have got a bit of a sweet tooth. I made a brilliant chocolate beetroot cake last year, as well as a lovely lemon courgette cake with a lovely frosting on top, which went down very well indeed. I'll try and get a picture of those on the screen for you now, so hopefully you can see them. I will always be doing savoury dishes as well though. I won't just be sticking to the sweet. I'll be doing things like veggie tray bakes, taking carrots, beetroot and the endless glut of courgettes that no doubt we'll all have again this year, and turning them into savoury bakes as well. The tray bake is absolutely delicious. Chop the veggies up, cover them in a balsamic glaze, chuck them in the oven and serve them with allotment potatoes covered in butter. Sounds lovely. It's making my mouth water just thinking about it. Also a bit of a herb lover, as you've seen on the allotment from the earlier part of the episode. I regularly drink herbal tea and plan on using herbs in quite a lot of the recipes. So seasoning with herb, I have a drying rack up in the allotment so I can dry herbs out and keep them here for when I need to use them. But I also do like to pick fresh from my teas. And things like lavender cake as well. I find that fresh herbs always work better for that. So as I said earlier in the episode, I will be filming about half of the episodes here in the kitchen, using what we've spent the last, don't know, God knows how many months trying to grow successfully, and bringing it back here to make the recipes, to make what we've worked so hard to achieve. The other half of my episodes will be showing you how we do that. So all the digging, the pruning, the planting, the tidying, the keeping on top of an allotment. I don't think people that don't have an allotment realise the work that goes into keeping on top of it. I'm sure you know, as my viewers, that, you know, it's a very, very difficult job and not a decision to be taken lightly. So half of my videos, like I say, will be up there filming on my day-to-day activity on the allotment, showing you what I'm growing, varieties I've chosen, how to look after crops, making fertilisers, things like that. And then the other half will be back down here. So that's pretty much all I've got for you today, this being my first episode. It would be great if any of you could suggest any recipes that you would like me to make. I've got a few in mind, but obviously definitely happy to hear in the comments what recipes you'd like me to have a go at. If you like this video, please give it a like. I am on Facebook and Instagram as well. I'll leave the links above so you can follow me on either of those if you use them. And if you'd like to see my future bakes or to have more time up my allotment with me, please click the subscribe button below. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my first video. So I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.